was surprising, but a lot of Ghanaians didn't actually know what the colors meant. So,
Yeah.
it's just a case of like providing people with the information that they needed. And, once you do that, you add value. And when you add value, people are really more than likely to come back.
Hey, wonderful people. You're now locked into the Sound of Accra podcast. If this is your first time listening, welcome. I go by the name of Adrian Daniels. This is the show where we chat with colorful creatives and entrepreneurs from a Ghanaian background, all with a special interest to the city, bringing you one step closer to Accra, wherever you are. I'm really excited about today's episode. I bring on the founder of Ghana 365. He goes by the name of Kobi Boakye. He's a really, really smart guy, intelligent guy. And we're going to talk about his platform, Ghana 365. I won't get into it right now because we're going to talk about it. But essentially, it's connecting Ghanaians and non-Ghanaians and pretty much anybody who has an interest in traveling and touring and doing something meaningful in Ghana. For the show notes for today's episode, head over to thesoundofaccra.com/Ghana365. That's thesoundofaccra.com/Ghana365. This is a really good, candid conversation. I hope you really take the time to listen to the majority, or if not the entirety of the podcast, because we do discuss some really important points, especially if you have an interest in Ghana. This is one of the podcasts that you want to really listen to. So without further ado, let's get into it, and I'll catch you next time. Take care. All right, so welcome guys. So today's guest I have is Kobi. Kobi, actually, I've actually not met him in person. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
can you hear me, by the way?
I can hear you well.
Great. Yeah, Kobi, man. How you feeling, man?
I'm great, man. Thanks for having me on your show. I've always wanted to
you're welcome.
Listen to a few of your podcasts already, so it's my honor. It's an honor to be on your show.
Oh, excellent. I'm honored to have you in my show as well. I can see the big things you're doing with Ghana 365.
Thank you.
So I actually haven't met Kobi real life in person yet, but shout out to James Mercer. I had to shout him out, who I actually have met in life. James Mercer is a longtime university friend. But yeah, James Mercer introduced me to Kobi, and he thought he'd be a great fit, not just for the show, but just in general, in terms of, putting Ghana in the map. We're both, running in the same lane, and we're both on the same mission. So who better to get on the show than someone like, Kobi? And I'm just really honored to have him in the show. So James, if you're listening to this, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it.
Shout out to James.
Shout out James. And I want to tell all the listeners that another reason why I felt that you resonate with me so much, or I resonate with you so much, is that I actually attempted, and for those of you that may not know, I actually attempted to do something like what Kobi has successfully done, called London to Accra. I tried to do my own version of Accra, Ghana, the discovery platform in terms of travel and tourism. Version 1 didn't really, or version 2 didn't work out really well. And then I noticed a podcast kind of approach is working for me better. So who knows what will happen in the future. But anyway, guys, if you don't know, Kobi is the founder of Ghana 365. So this came out as a result of lack of available content. Is that correct?
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
Okay. So there was a gap in the market. You realized there was a need for, what you've gone out and you've established. And as a result, Ghana 365 was born. And they share lots of information that encourages people, to go out and explore the country, to support businesses, to discover businesses, and, to get connected with the government. I mean, is that right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I could elaborate if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we're gonna go into that. But before we go into Ghana 365, I think it makes sense just for everyone to hear a little bit more about the man behind Ghana 365, the successful brand as it is.
Okay, my name's Kobi Boakye. I'm 6'7", as you mentioned earlier.
Tall guy, man. Shout out to Jason, who was on season 1. Jason, who's on season 1 of the podcast, he's 6'6". He's one of my close university friends as well. Shout out to Jason, man.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm one of a few, I guess, unusual Ghanaians that
I
follow
like
over
that.
most. So I'm not
Uh-huh.
your usual, you could say.
Uh-huh.
And so my mum is Fanti, my dad is Ashanti.
Brap, brap,
Um,
brap, brap.
so yeah, I've got you could say the best of both worlds.
I love that.
I'm just a lover of all things Ghanaian, and secondly, all things African.
That's it.
And yeah, so my background is project management.
Hmm.
So I've grown up. Well, I say I've grown up. My career started in financial services, and I've
Okay.
just been working in that area for probably the last 7 to 10 years. And I've got a lot of
Mm,
experience in just delivering projects,
wow.
execute, execute, execute. That's
Yeah,
what I like to do, just getting things done and moving on to
that's
the
it.
next. So
Mm.
yeah, and obviously just a lover of football. Football's my sport. I can't complain. I
Yeah,
can't lie.
yeah.
I'm just one of the biggest Liverpool fans you can count.
Hey,
Obviously, we're the champions.
Liverpool.
Uh,
Yep,
reigning
yep, you
champions.
are.
You know,
As a Man United fan, you are.
thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm sadly, obviously, I just saw the scores that just happened recently. So my condolences to you, Adrian.
Thank you so much,
And
man.
all the other Man United fans out there.
Yeah, Southampton's been doing good this season,
Yeah, they gave us a lot
in
of
all
trouble as
honesty.
well.
Yeah. And you know what's funny actually? In Ghana, I don't really see that many Liverpool supporters in Ghana. I see like a lot of like United and Chelsea and Arsenal. I don't see a lot of Liverpool supporters in Ghana, but I'm
Because
sure they're out there.
there's never really been a Ghanaian player that's played for Liverpool. And I think like with like Arsenal,
Mm,
you had like Ghanaian players. With Chelsea,
Thomas
you had
Partey.
Essien, and he was
Oh
just like
yeah.
he took
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of my mum's Arsenal through and through. My family through Arsenal through and through, but she swapped to Chelsea whilst Essien was there. Like a lot
Oh
of
wow.
African people I knew, like they just
Yeah.
switched. So yeah,
Oh man, take me back to those days where Ghanaians were all over the Premier League and our national team was doing well back then. That Asamoah Gyan penalty still hurts me to this day, man.
you're telling me, and don't forget Suarez was playing for Liverpool at the time, so that
Yeah.
there was a lot of conflict going on. I'm glad he's gone,
Ah
to be
man.
honest, but it is what it is.
That must be like a bittersweet moment for you, Kobi, because obviously he played for Liverpool, but yeah, you support Liverpool, and yeah, he did what he did against Ghana, which was kind of like a Diego Maradona kind of moment, rest in peace.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I mean? What can I
exactly.
say?
Yeah, it is what it is. I understand that he's got to do what he's got to do for his country, but at the expense of
Mm.
me, nah, f that guy. That's what I was thinking.
Man, what can I say? I mean, I don't think he's everybody's favorite, Suarez, but I mean, can't deny his talent.
True.
Even if he's left, Barcelona, can't deny his talent to this day. But yeah, man, football's a crazy game. It's a crazy game. It is. It's a crazy game. It is. So yeah, Kobe. I mean, what you've been doing is amazing. I think your background is really cut out for doing stuff in Ghana. So I'm looking forward to what not just what you're going to do with Ghana 365 in the future, which we'll get to, but I'm also looking forward to what you yourself is going to do in Ghana. Like if that's in the plan, but that's probably another conversation. Yeah, so Ghana 365. Let's talk about that. Really loving the platform. How did that come about? I know I kind of touched upon it. You saw a gap in the market. Let's dive deep into that at the moment.
Sure, sure. So Ghana 365, it kind of just was born out of a frustration. I went to Ghana maybe, let me think,
Yeah.
2017, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, it was Christmas. So I've been to Ghana a few times before.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's frequent, but I've been there a few times.
Mm. Mm.
And I went with my parents for a funeral once when my
So
granddad passed
sorry to
away,
hear, man.
unfortunately.
Condolences, man.
And yeah, he was quite big in Ghana, so there was a big funeral that happened, and I wouldn't say that my experience of Ghana was great because that was probably one of the lasting experiences that I had. So you've got
Mm.
families to a certain extent worrying about things that are going on, who's getting what. This is how this should be done versus that's how it should be
Yeah.
done. You know, it wasn't the most enjoyable time, obviously.
Mm,
And as a
mm,
result of that, I just stayed with my mom, my parents, family, and we didn't really explore Ghana. It was just all about the funeral, and shortly after, we obviously left home.
yeah.
Um,
Okay. And when was this actually?
this was 2012, 2012.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow. So it was a while ago.
yeah, it was a while ago. Yeah.
Little.
And then
Hmm.
obviously I went in. No, it was 2016. Sorry, that I went.
2016.
I went,
Okay.
and kind of the idea was born. That was for Christmas,
Mm,
and I
yeah.
went without my parents. I went with
Okay.
my cousins. I went with my brothers,
Yeah.
and it was like a release. Like the shackles were off. You know, I'm seeing Ghana for what Ghana really is, and
Yeah.
it's a real eye opener. You know, because you go there
Mm,
and you see what you want to see, because
yeah.
like, if you ask, if like we've done surveys with several individuals, like when I say individuals, like a number of people, like over 100,
Yeah.
and we asked them
Hmm.
what do they think of when they think of Ghana,
Yeah.
and they said, oh, just safaris. They said tradition. They said flies on kids' faces,
Really?
etc. Stuff like that.
Flies in kids'
Yeah,
faces are
yeah.
the usual kind of UNICEF
Stereotype.
charity kind of adverts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
I was like, when you go there, like, don't get me wrong, I did not think that was the case before, but I'm telling you,
Mm,
like, they thought that, and it was just it was quite compelling that that's something that I wanted to break. I wanted to dispel those thoughts of people's minds, and so it kind of encouraged me to come up with this platform, because I had such a great experience when I was there, and I felt like,
2016. Yeah.
yeah, 2016 changed everything for me.
That was a great time because I think for me, just wanted to add to what you were saying, Copy, because this is really good stuff right here. I think 2016 I think that's the year when Ghana really started to kind of go on the up
Yeah,
tourism wise and tourism wise, economy wise. That year, like we saw a lot of like new like businesses, restaurants, that weren't really there before. Understand? So I think you went at a perfect time.
yeah, it was the start of my second love for Ghana, you could say. And the love where I've got the money to do things that I want to do. I've got the money to actually create things, design things, jump
Mm,
on things. It was just a great moment for me. So I really enjoyed Ghana. Like I went to parties, I went to the clubs, I did everything you could think of. I enjoyed myself.
that's
So
it. That's
yeah,
it.
no, it was a great time, and I think on the back of that, I just thought, you know what, it's time for other people to really experience what I've experienced, see what I've
That's it.
seen, and just be able to share our culture, curate some
Mm,
experiences with people, build relationships, the confidence. Yeah, like we take it for granted, but the patriotism, like like there's deep love for Ghana in my heart, basically. But
mm.
it was awoken when I went there in 2016, and I just thought, I want to do this, I want to do that. So many things I can do. I could be a laundrette owner. I could build one in Ghana and
Yeah,
develop a lot of things that we take for granted over here.
I'm telling you.
And just
Yeah,
those are some of the things that kind of drove me to creating Ghana 365, which is just to bring about and enhance people's experiences of Ghana. So
yeah,
whether that's through just having fun, because we follow three things, like, which is eat, sleep, and live, and we basically want you to eat, sleep, and live the culture in Ghana.
the
That's
culture.
it.
Yeah, I
Survive.
love that segmentation, man. It's just simple: eat, sleep, and drink. I mean, that's kind of like the main things, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
eating, drinking, living. That's just the main. That's just the main things you'd want to do, especially as a tourist, man. So I love the way you've broken that down. And was that when you went in 2016? Was that the second time or was the first time? Just
oh
to
no,
just to double check.
overall that was the fourth time I'd been.
Okay, so you've been to
Yeah,
Ghana a few times,
yeah, yeah,
up until that moment, but that was the definitive moment where you're like, okay, you know what, God, I can actually do something here, or even if I can't do something here, I can share what's available here to the world, with Ghana 365.
yeah, yeah, 100%.
Mm,
That was the moment.
mm,
It changed everything for me. I
mm,
was like,
yeah.
I'm betting all on Ghana straight.
Yeah. And earlier on, you're talking about, because I think, with Ghana is great. You don't really need to reinvent the wheel. You can literally just take a proven, tried and true concept or business model, or business that's already exists in the West, and just take it to Ghana. And you mentioned like, laundrettes and all this kind of stuff. What made you decide, look, I'm going to curate all of this content rather than just kind of setting up a normal business like other people out there?
So there's probably two things that made me go with that, because I went to Kumasi whilst I was in Ghana that time, and oh my god, I got on the what's the name of those buses, those coaches?
It was
Uh,
was it like a STC bus or the
no,
what do they call it? There's a name for it, right? What do they
I
call it?
forget the one, and it takes like 4 hours to
Yeah,
get there.
yeah.
It will come back to me.
But
But
it's those coaches. It's those
the
coaches
red
essentially,
coaches,
though, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, the
I was on one of
coaches.
those
Yeah.
for 4 hours, and we're traveling there.
Wow.
And whilst we're driving, it just gave me some time to think. And
Mm,
I came up with maybe a list of around 8 ideas of things
yeah.
that I wanted to do in Ghana. I'm not going to tell you
Hmm.
all of them because, some
No,
would judge me. But,
that's another conversation.
but Ghana 365 was one of them. Um,
Yeah,
Alleviating some people's problems when it comes to like housing. I was thinking
yeah,
about just, like one of the ideas, which was just a case of people that are buying houses from buying land, sorry, and wanting to build on them. I was just thinking about
mm,
someone that guards that land, because you hear the stories, you hear the stories of people like building on top of your actual land, and then once you get there, you
yeah,
about it. So that was one of the ideas that I thought of all the way back then, but I just
yeah.
felt like if I'm not on the ground to manage
Uh
them,
huh.
I can't do it. So
Man,
yeah,
I
so
could tell you stories.
my main driver of the decision to do Ghana 365 was because of technology. I wanted to leverage
Technology. Yeah.
technology, stuff that I can do
Mm,
remotely. I can talk to you like now, how I can talk to anyone in Ghana. And I
yeah.
knew that that way I could communicate with people, I could set things up, and it's all going to be online. It's in the cloud. So that
No.
was my main driver for what I'm doing now.
That makes sense. So because you knew that you couldn't always be on the ground, you wanted to, set up something which didn't necessarily require you to be on the ground, hence the birth of Ghana 365.
Exactly.
I've got you. That makes so much more sense now. And I really like the name. How did you come up with the name? I mean, the logo is amazing. How did you come up with the name actually?
Thanks. Well, it was just down to the fact that we eat, sleep, and live the culture.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing it 365 days a year, so let's
Jeez.
not make it just about Christmas. Let's make it about the whole
I
season.
like that.
Like
Thank you
everyone's
so
up
much, man.
for Christmas. Like, why don't we
Yeah.
do it more? You know,
Thank you. Thank you so much, man. Hence
um,
why you got a lot of people moving out there now, isn't it?
yeah,
And I think we're gonna segue into that shortly. But yeah, man. Why don't we do it over, more than just Christmas?
exactly, exactly. And I think
Mm,
it's a seasonal thing where people feel like they can't work out there. There's not enough there. They can't swap their salary for a Ghanaian salary. There's loads of
mm,
like drivers for why people tend to go there just for Christmas. It's something that people get time off during Christmas, so people can do it.
yeah.
But
Hmm.
at the end of the day, I think
Makes
things are
sense.
changing. I see things are changing. Loads of people are going there to live, to build businesses, just start families. People are tired of
That's it.
the same old. So, you know,
Hmm.
what better place to go than Ghana? I could
Absolutely.
be your tourism
Absolutely.
ambassador. I'm just here plugging Ghana in every way,
100%.
shape, or form.
100%, man. And that's why I really get excited when it comes to speaking to people like yourself, Holiday Helper, who was on season 1 of the Sound of the Crowd podcast. I mean, and even Marwa on season 1, a mum from Sierra Leone
Yeah,
who only been to Ghana once and decided to move her entire life over there, and her daughter, which is absolutely phenomenal. And she's not even Ghanaian, and she calls it home.
yeah,
These are the stories that really move me, and these are the stories which I'm sure these are the kind of personas, the kind of success or case studies that I'm sure you want to have, on the back of Ghana 365. Have you actually, while we're speaking about this, before we move into Christmas in Ghana, I mean, this is really good stuff, by the way. Have you had any kind of stories or feedback from the platform? Maybe someone saying, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know this was in Ghana. Thank you so much." You understand what I'm trying to say? Like any
Yeah.
kind of like, comments like that.
So we've had some really good comments actually because it's actually proved to be helpful. And so obviously it just started off as a passion, and then I realized there's actually a need, and people are hungry for this type of information.
Yeah.
So we started putting some content out that kind of explained some of the traditions in Ghana,
Yeah.
what some of them meant. Like there was one where we put out about kente. There was one where we put out about the cloth, not the cloth, the
Yeah.
flag, sorry, what the colors meant.
Yeah.
And it was surprising, but a lot of Ghanaians didn't actually know what the colors meant. So,
Yeah.
it's just a case of like providing people with the information that they needed. And, once you do that, you add value. And when you add value, people are really likely more than likely to come back. And I think last Christmas, what we did is we had like a really good event list, because a lot of people, like literally, like there was shitloads of people in Ghana last year, and
Yeah.
what they were doing was they didn't know where to go. So the group that Lorraine set up,
Yeah. Shout out to the rain.
yeah, shout out to Lorraine. And, people were just in the group just saying like, "What's everyone doing? There's this event, there's that event, there's this,"
It
and
was popping. I was in that group. It
oh
was
yeah,
absolutely popping.
yeah,
I
crazy.
was in that group. Yeah. I didn't actually realize you were in that group till later on. Like I was like, I'm still interviewing people from that group.
Yeah. It's a good source of
Yeah,
information and
it
meeting
is.
like-minded people. And then randomly,
And
like,
even celebrities in that group. Even there
yeah,
was celebrities in the group. Yeah, I think still. I think what's this guy? PJ Kev. The one of the flights. I mean the jets. Yeah, he's in the group. I mean,
and stuff.
casually. Yeah. I mean, it's incredible, man. Like
Yeah, and
what platforms
randomly,
like yours can do.
someone just popped up Ghana 365 link in the group and said, "Look, this is one of the best places." Along with, I think this is Accra. Just said, "This is one of the best places for information." I was just like, "Okay."
How did that make you
I'm-
feel,
That made
Kobi?
me
How did that make you feel?
accomplished, reward.
Jeez. Jeez. Your
Yeah,
work's not in vain, man. I mean, you're helping people all over the world, I'm sure. And I can only imagine where you're gonna go from here. While we're talking about like discovery online, I think let's talk about the social media. I mean, what you guys are doing in social media recently is really, really good. The Instagram is growing wildly. I like what you do on LinkedIn. I also like what you do with Instagram. I mean, how people can drop in the hashtag Ghana365 if they want to be picked up, and then you can repost the image, etc. The interviews with Quabs, just really great ideas coming out at the moment.
yeah, we're trying to just be as, like you could say, inclusive as possible, trying to share the culture through various different channels. So whether that's through our Instagram, obviously that you can catch us on Instagram via Ghana.365. Shameless plug.
Don't worry, all the links will be in the show notes as well at thesoundofacrowd.com. So don't worry about that. We'll have all the links in the show notes for today's show.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
No problem.
And yeah, so we've got events that we held. We've got one called Social Sundays, which is basically just a casual, informal environment where we just talk to people around the world doing great things that are either Ghanaian or connected to Ghana in their very
That's it.
different ways. Any lover
That's
of
it.
any lover of Ghana is my brother. So
That's
or
it.
my sister, or my auntie. Um,
Fantastic, man.
yeah, no, there's just creative ways to get things out. We've got our YouTubes that we share content on. We've got our LinkedIn where we target some of the more serious matters, which is probably like investing. We
Yeah.
collaborate with so many different people. We just try to make sure that we're able to help people, because not only do people come for obviously the Eat, Sleep, the Lives, but people
Yeah.
also want to know about events that are going on. People also want to know about ways that they can embark on their journey in Ghana, and we try to
Yeah.
facilitate that. Because even like last year, around Christmas times, someone asked us for support, as in to create their event in Ghana,
Wow. Okay.
and we obviously helped them leverage that. And obviously, they had one of the best events that I could think of in Ghana
Wow.
last year.
Wow.
So
Fantastic,
that
man.
was big.
That
Big.
is big, man.
Yeah.
Big, man. Hopefully we hear about more, success stories like that, and more people reaching out to you like that as well.
Yeah.
And speaking of Christmas and events, coming up actually, what do you see, on the horizon in 2021? I mean, it's a very different year. I mean, with everything that's happened this year
Yeah.
in 2020,
Definitely.
what do you see happening this year in terms of Ghana 365? People going, like the diaspora going to Ghana, the hotspots. What do you see happening? What do you see yourselves planning to get involved in, like,
Yeah.
or spotlighting, if you will?
Yeah. So the diaspora, like, I think is just gonna happen the same way, like last year.
Yeah,
It's not gonna be as crazy, like that.
yeah,
That I think is obvious, like because of the pandemic, where we're living in a
mhm.
different world, so it needs to be a lot more refrained. Obviously, the costs that people are going to exert going forward. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Did
round
you want to?
doorbell.
Did you need to get that, or
Uh,
someone's gonna get that? All
yeah.
right, that's cool. Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
so yeah, I just think in regards to traveling to Ghana for this time, there's going to
Yeah.
be a lot of people going still because diaspora is where obviously people feel like they can escape and they can
Yeah.
still enjoy Ghana COVID free to a certain
Yeah.
extent. But
Yeah.
obviously, it's similar to Dubai. People are looking for escape. People are looking for good weather
Yeah.
where they can
Hmm.
actually enjoy Ghana still. So,
Yeah.
you know, I think that's
It's
what.
gonna be different. Yeah, it's gonna be different. I think a bit more conservative to last year's madness, but it's still gonna be, a hype over there. I
Are
mean,
you going?
I went on. Uh, I'm looking to go. I haven't booked my flights. I'm just thinking of the right time to go. But I'm looking to be there for quite some time because of things I've got in the pipeline for
Yeah,
2021. So definitely looking to get there, but I probably won't go before Christmas. It'll be after when I'm looking to go.
yeah,
Skip the madness and then see what happens and get there. For me, it's more kind of kind of business and family and just networking reasons that I tend to go rather than just kind of party,
focus,
party, party,
man.
party, party.
Focus, man.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, I mean that's party's there, but I mean I'm more on a different mission. You
Yeah,
understand?
different time.
Understand? Yeah, man. Different climate as well. You understand? I mean, I think I've been there, done that. I mean, I think now it's time to kind of focus on more meaningful things, and
I
why not?
agree.
I can still enjoy yourself, but you know what I mean. What's gotta get done, it's gotta get done. You understand?
Yeah. No, I definitely
Yeah.
agree with that.
It's gonna be a different time, definitely for sure. And yeah, let's talk about I mean, I know there's other platforms out there, but what do you pride? I mean, this is Accra, there's Where Ghana Eats. I mean, there's so many other platforms, even YGP,
Yeah,
who are also affiliated with, shout out to Young Ghanaian Professionals. They also have their kind of platform coming up. What do you guys pride yourself in, and how do you kind of stay on track? Because there are a lot of people who are trying to kind of do their own version of a Ghana discovery platform. How do you kind of stay in your lane? Does that make sense? Because maybe one person may say, "Oh, I want you guys to do this, or I want you guys to have that. I wish you did this. I wish you featured that." Yeah, I mean, it's hard to be everything to everyone. How do you kind of focus and stay in your lane and focus on what you guys want to do?
so that's the thing, it's a good question. You just got to stay true to what you believe in, do what you got to do, and be the best at what you're the best at doing. So I just focus on that. I think there's plenty of space for all of our platforms to coexist, and some of them do great art, some of them focus on great lifestyle, some of them focus on other stuff. So we
Yeah.
just focus on like our core values, which is eat, sleep, and live. Um, like beyond those three things, do I think there's anything else that's more important in life? Not really. But that's just me.
Mm,
So everyone's got their different thoughts or different ideas. So we just have
mm.
to focus on what we think is important to us,
That's
and
definitely a
people
fair
for
view.
our demographic that we appeal to. So we focus on that.
That's that's true. I couldn't agree with you much more. Okay, so
Mm.
yeah, so obviously we're just talking about how Ghana 365, how you guys stay in your lane and not try to get too sidetracked from what other people are trying to do, as in similar platforms as well. I also wanted to mention, I like how you're using your different social media platforms to focus on different things. Like you said, LinkedIn, more investing. Then you got your YouTube. Tell us about your YouTube. I mean, because I know right now there's a big trend of, people doing stuff out in Ghana, as far as travel and tourism comes to mind. I mean, we could talk about all the different YouTubers that are doing this. I mean, what kind of content are you kind of focusing on at the moment? Because it's not like you have drones and, all of this kind of like cinematic videographers all over the place, and you're not in Ghana at the moment. Tell us about what kind of content can we expect to see on the YouTube channel side of things? Because that's starting to be a lot more kind of in demand now.
Definitely. And I think some of the things that we're looking to focus on is stuff that literally like speaks to our audience, which is eats, sleeps, and lives. But in regards to that, it's like educational things as well. So where we're able to showcase culture, where we're able to kind of share some of the things that a lot of people haven't seen before in different ways. But where they've seen it before, it's done in a different way. Because we like to be different. We just like to be different.
That's it.
And where possible, we would like to kind of hone in on some of these areas. Like you could think of stuff like the umbrellas, some of the culture that we've spoken about. We've realized that there's so many unique nuances to some of the things that take place in Ghana. There's different, like you'll say, this bead means this, or this Adinkra sign means this, and just a lot of that. The reason why we have our names, the reason why we have our names in this area versus another area. So it's just the history behind certain things like that I find really interesting. It blows my mind that there's so much to it that I don't know about, and for some reason, I don't ask my mum enough questions about Ghanaian history. Why she did this, why she's the way she is, or just the history of things. And there's so much knowledge out there, and I want to share. Like I like speaking to people that are doing things. Like there's a lady called Rita. She's got this platform called Seheni. There's Kirsty that you mentioned. I think you've already spoken to. None of projects, and they basically look at historic things. That are very vocal in terms of our history, rather than having it documented. And that's just one of the great things that blow our minds. Blow my mind, I say.
No, I mean you're absolutely on point. There's so much Ghanaian history. I think our culture is rich in history and heritage and all of this stuff. I think this what makes Ghana really unique, is also the history and the background and the past. You understand? And we haven't even touched upon politics and stuff as well. You know what I mean? That's for another conversation, and that also part of the history. But it's amazing. It's amazing. There's this
an article for us as we speak.
Is he?
In Ghana? Yeah.
Is he? I love that, man. I'm shout out to James, man. James, man. Thanks again for making this happen, man. Man. I mean, I was lucky enough to go to school in Ghana, you know what I mean, for 3 years and learn Ghanaian history, firsthand. So I'm really, privileged to have that, and to even come first in one of the history exams as well in Ghana, which is I'll never forget that day. I mean, I went to Morning Star in Cantonments, for those that don't know. Shout out to my Morning Star crew. I've got, I'm still connected with some of my friends back in the day, even from 2001, 2002, 3, 4, you understand? Still connected with them, still see them. But I mean, one of the teachers, like this guy came all the way from London to come and beat you in the class. You understand? I didn't go to no international school like GIS, TIS, AIS. I mean, they're all well and good, but you know what I mean? I think I don't regret going to kind of like a normal private school. I mean, it's obviously one of the best private schools anyway, so it was all right for me. But the history, being able to learn history was different. I mean, it was really, really interesting for me, and I really started to appreciate Ghana a lot more for that. But
I think people like Wade Maya, he's got a YouTube channel. Like I've been watching him for about 2 years, and when he wasn't even focused heavily in Ghana and he was back in China. You know,
Okay.
his
Yeah, he's got
energy,
lots of China videos, isn't it? It's quite
yeah,
funny actually.
he's got crazy energy, and what he just did, he's real passionate about Ghana, real passionate
Mm,
about like Africa in itself,
yeah,
and it's just something that I think we're at a very pivotal moment in the world. You know, like everyone's seeing what they think they're in reach of now. You know, some of the things that was said like time after time after time
yeah,
about Africans uniting, us building our own um, foundations. You know, it's all very important for us to start to do these things, and if
yeah.
we're able to come together, like myself talking to you, Adrian,
Hmm.
myself talking to other people in that group where we're able to communicate with people, just collaboration. Like collaboration is a big thing for me. I like talking to people that are of like mind, and
Yeah,
all on the same journey. Like there's so many people that are on the same journey that I've started to talk to, and
yeah.
I've realized that there's so much for us to do. There's so much that we can do together. Like
Telling
you
you.
always look at some of the people that are like way ahead of us, but there's so many people that are of like minds that can help us. You know?
Yeah. Doesn't matter the background, man. Whether they're ahead of us or just getting started, I think we all have something that we can contribute,
Yeah,
especially if we have that passion for Ghana. You understand? I mean, there's so many stories that we could go into, but yeah, I mean, you know, I think you've said it really. And one
definitely.
thing I do want to say is, what I've realized is another thing that I've realized when you're referring to you want to focus on Ghana, just you want to focus on Ghana beyond Christmas. I think that's really important because I think that doesn't just emphasize not going to Ghana just for Christmas or going to Ghana for Easter or for whatever summertime or going to live in Ghana. I think I realize what you're also referring to is knowing Ghana for what it is, the culture, the history,
Yeah,
why things are the way they are. You understand? And I think that's really, really important. And I think for those that just go to Ghana for Christmas and just, they just live it up, party up, whatever it is that they do, and then go back to wherever they came from. I think it's important to know, where you're going, the country that you're going to, the history, the background, what you can actually do, beyond partying. You understand? And I think that's a really, really important point that you've actually brought up.
it is, and I think that's something that differentiates ourselves from a lot of the other platforms. Maybe you could say, because a lot of them focus on Accra.
Yeah.
Um, and I know Accra's the capital, and
Oh,
that's where
me. Sorry.
everything jumps in. Oh yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
you, yeah.
Well, I mean, technically I don't. It's just a name. Doesn't mean I'm fun, but I don't. Yeah.
That wasn't a shot. That wasn't a shot.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
Yeah, no, like everything is quite focused on Accra, and that's because
Mm,
it's where everything's jumping. You know, like the clubs, the bars. You know, a lot of the business is based in Accra as well. But there's a lot more outside of Accra, and that's what we just try to show. There's loads of stuff up in Tamale. There's loads of stuff in like Bolgatanga that people don't know much about. There's the Eastern region. There's so many different parts of Ghana that aren't explored nearly enough. But I can show you some people that are doing great stuff out there, and with that, like I just like encourage people to explore the rest of Ghana, and obviously just experience some of the areas that need to be experienced. There's a lot of history outside of Accra.
mm,
There's more history outside of Accra.
there is. It actually is, and I think if I'm correct, I think Cape Coast was more of the capital. I think Cape Coast was the previous capital of Ghana, basically. And then I think it got moved to Accra, if I'm correct, from what I remember learning about history. So you're actually right. There's a lot more going on outside Accra than there is in Accra. It's just more metropolitan. There's just more modern stuff going on within Accra. You know what I mean? That
Yeah,
relates to people from the West, and that's all it is. And to be fair with you, there's lots of roads infrastructure happening, which is focused on taking people out of Accra. So hopefully, we're going to see a lot more people live out Accra. And the funny thing is, I'm hearing a lot of Americans now are moving to Eastern region, are moving to Abri, that are relocating to Ghana.
yeah.
So even they are clocking it.
Yeah, I think it's the right thing to do, to be honest. Like, when you think about it, Akon said something like, the only way you're going to be like a Fortune 100 company or Fortune 500 company is if you go to Africa right now and invest. And
That's
I
it.
stand by those words because I think Africa's on the precipice of being something amazing. People talk about Wakanda as a dream, and I also think of it as a dream, but a dream that can be made reality
I think
because
it can.
it's not far. It's actually not far. We've seen. I think what it comes down to is we just need to make use of everything we've seen before ourselves. So we've got all the case studies in the world. We've seen other people do it. We're arguably doing it last. So with that, we've seen all of the mistakes. Let's not make that mistake again. You know what I mean? And let's, do what we can with what we've learned. And I'm all about learning. I just love learning. I love seeing other
Same.
cultures. I've traveled to many countries like Tokyo, Indonesia,
Jeez. Jeez.
Toronto, Canada,
Shout out to Toronto.
all over Europe. I've been to Africa, like a few countries in Africa, and
Mm,
like
same.
I've taken things from every single country. I said, you know what, I could do that from Tokyo. I can bring that to Accra, or I can
That's it.
bring this from Toronto, and I can bring that to Accra, or I can bring it to
That's
the
it.
UK, or I can bring it to America. There's so many things that I've learned on my ways, on my travels, and I can't tell you which one's my favorite, but which one is home is Ghana, so
That's it.
that's the only one that counts, really.
That's
you
powerful, man. That's really powerful. I mean, people let that just sink in. I mean, you can go all over the world, you can go around the world, but I think at least for us, we kind of recognize there's no place like Ghana, at least for us, from what we've experienced and from what we know. It's just something special about it.
Where do you feel most comfortable as a black
Ghana,
man?
as a black man, what, country wise or
Yeah, country wise, continent wise.
yeah, Africa.
It's
Africa.
always
And I
been
think, and I can say this firsthand, I lived in Ghana. Obviously, I'm looking to relocate, but yeah, I've lived in Ghana. So I can, I felt so free, I can do what I want to do, be who I want to be. You understand? And growing up in Ghana, I always had my dads, kind of not preach to me, but always kind of sow seeds at a young age, like at the age of 11, 10, 12, come back to Africa and develop the country because, it's got so much potential really. And, and even this week and the last week, we've had conversations about what we're planning to do in 2021. And, here I am, in my 30s now, looking to make something happen, God willing, in Ghana.
Yeah,
So yeah, man. So
100%.
Ghana is it.
I stress on that same fact. Sorry to interrupt you, but I
No.
stress on that same fact that I'm not only investing where I am. I'm not investing in the UK only. I look at my projected goals and my projected financial plan, and I think of the UK. I think of businesses. I think of investments, and it's starting to lean more out of the West and to Africa
Yeah.
because I see more opportunities in Africa that are going to serve the returns that I'm seeking for. And with that alone, I just try to share that with people that there is actually, right now, I think there's more opportunity in Africa than there is in the West. Yes, we are all developing a lot of things. We are all going up in the ladder in the West. And I think with what's happened in America, things are changing. However, I think this is the opportunity in Africa to actually become those household institutions, to become the Coca-Colas, the Unilevers, these institutions that we take for granted over here that are just everywhere. We can create our institutions. I'm all about legacy, 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 legacy. And I want to build something so that my family and my kids can continue to utilize what I've left them. I want my kids to be able to do a art degree,
Yeah.
do I don't know, drama degree, when they go to university. Like I wasn't allowed to do that. Like, and I know a lot of my Nigerian friends weren't allowed to do that. It's either
True.
law, finance, or they have to be doctors. It's one of the three, business.
Yeah.
I want them to be able to do whatever the hell they want, knowing that they've got safety net in me, in dad.
Yeah.
My mom's done everything she can to put me in this position, so I'm going to do everything I can to put my family, my kids, my future in a preferable position.
That's powerful.
There's just so much in Africa, man. It's like I get passionate about it. I can speak about it for like hours, like days. It just brings a level of excitement, and that's where I think the patriotism side of things. Like in America, does it not surprise you sometimes how many Americans are so patriotic? Like they're like USA, USA, and
I
it's
saw a
not.
lot of that.
Yeah, it's not actually like white Americans, it's black Americans as well. And I
It's
just
everyone.
think,
It's all different
yeah,
races out there. Yeah.
why can't we instill that into some of the, you could say maybe there's a lot of patriotism in Ghana itself, but I think like in terms of that diaspora, like there's more that we can create. And I just hope that that comes about over time when we're able to give back, and create
Totally.
a lot more opportunities to people over there, to people over here, to people everywhere, just to build up Ghana to the place that it should be.
Couldn't agree with you more, my brother. My brother, Kobi, you've spoken some true facts. Africa is one of a kind, and we definitely have a lot of work to do. And I think it all starts with, if I've learned anything this year, is that it definitely starts with us being more unified than we've ever been before. To be able to get to that Wakanda that we want. I mean, I had a conversation with, Emmanuel Gamma season 1. We talked about smart cities. We talked about Petronia City in Ghana, Freedom Jacob Caesar and co. Working on that. And I see that like a kind of Wakanda project, if you will. And there's huge potential, man. And I think,
Yeah.
all starts with us coming together and bringing our resources together and making things happen and stopping the corruption as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. All of those things you mentioned are so true. I think we can do it. We've become more unified than ever, like you mentioned. And I think it's only going to get better the more we collaborate, the more we talk, the more we share what we're doing, the more we don't feel threatened by what people are doing, the I'm doing this in silo versus I'm here collaborating and showing my craft to the world, I think it's gonna happen, I genuinely feel like that call to action is universal now. And we want to, like Ghana 365 anyway, we want to collaborate with everyone, not only Ghanaians, but people who have a connection or a love for, the country and culture. So yeah, we're here, everyone's in the right lanes, I think. So long may it continue.
Long may it continue, man. And I think you've just summed up what your announcement would be. Normally, towards the end of the show, I ask my guests, what would you leave with the audience, or what announcements do you have? And I think you've just said that very well. To bring this to a close, Kobi, what is the sound of Accra to you? That's my customary question to all my guests, man. So when someone says Accra to you, what comes to mind? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Do you know what? This is the one thing I forgot to think about.
No, it's supposed to be think on the spot. It's much better that way. So if someone says Accra to you, what comes to mind naturally? You don't need to think.
There's probably two things that come to
Okay.
mind, actually.
Okay.
So one is probably nature. So that comes in the form of like just hearing nature when I'm back in Ghana. So I'm here, I'm only going to hear foxes and cats and dogs in the UK. But when I go to Ghana, I hear nature, crickets. I hear the rooster waking me up in the morning.
Yeah.
Even hearing the sound of the taxi drivers, being, that kind of just, it's the nostalgia of it, because I'm obviously part-time in Ghana. So
Yeah.
it's that element of the things that once you touch down, you kind of feel like I'm at home.
Yeah.
And I guess the other thing, probably the sound of Accra is probably the enterprise side of things, which is the
Mm.
talent and growth that I see that's happening in Ghana. I see a big improvement in the way things are happening, and like you could say, the women in Makala market, the way they
Yeah.
operate with
Props to
so
them.
much vim. Like they are about their money, but they do it in a way that makes you laugh and you're happy to part with your money. You know,
Yeah. It's
I
beautiful hustle.
I getting
Beautiful
hustled.
hustle, man.
I like getting hustled, but I like getting hustled by
Yeah.
women over in the market.
True.
I
True.
think that's that growing that growth that I'm seeing in Ghana, that growth in demand, it just reminds me of like a time when I was in Johannesburg and I just saw a lot of black
Mm.
excellence. I just
Mm.
saw, I just saw it and I felt so happy and proud. And
Yeah.
I see that in Ghana. So
Powerful,
um,
man.
yeah, I think that's something that I'll leave with.
Woof. Well, that was that was quite something, man. That was powerful. Definitely very a lot of imagery, in that. That's powerful. That's what we want in this show, right? We want to take it to those levels, man. Kobi, wow, that was powerful, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man. You're welcome. Once again, I'll leave everything in the show notes. But where can people find you? Where can people connect with you and Ghana's 365?
So yeah, people could reach out to us on info@Ghana-365 via emails. Calling all writers, content creators, businesses, brands. Happy to collaborate. Happy to do work with you. You can catch us on our website, which is Ghana-365.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can check out everything that we've got on there. And yeah, you can just hit me up on our Instagram as well, which is Ghana.365. And I'll be happy to respond to any queries. Yeah, I think it's great, man. It's just a great time.
Definitely is. I think the time is ripe in Africa. Mika Abraham, who I interviewed as well, and for season 2, I mean, she mentioned how people were bringing down Africa, but yeah, Africa is the very place that everyone's going to flock to in the very near future. I couldn't agree with her more.
Definitely.
Agree with him more.
That
Wow.
sounds good.
Yeah. So everyone, you're going to have all of the show notes, references, links for today's show. Head over to thesoundofaccra.com/Ghana365. Everything we've discussed today in the links, social media, Kobi and his team's contact details will all be in there. And yeah, you can have all of the information you need by visiting that page. Kobi, before you go, actually, 2 things. One, did someone else have the Ghana365.com domain? I mean, I'm just thinking Ghana-365. That's still good.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, does somebody else have Ghana365.com?
Yeah, I've reached out to them, but they ain't selling.
No way. That is so annoying.
Yeah,
I hate when that happens. I'm trying to get AdrianDaniels.com and I think they're refusing to sell to me as well. What? Wait, and the annoying thing is that they won't do anything with it. They'll just hold the domain and they won't do anything.
There's no usage of it. Like I've even seen like the Instagrams. There's a Ghana365 without the dot. And
Okay, you're trying to get
used for about 6 years. So
yeah.
I'm just like, I should have jumped on these platforms.
Did you reach out to them? Because I think you can reach out to people and agree to get their usernames, whatever, and then you can do a switch kind of thing.
Oh, we're going to talk about this off plan.
We'll talk about that. And yeah, go on.
I'm also the co-founder of buffbodyfitness.com.
Okay.
So you can get all your active wear, it's ladies wear currently. So everything all about, if you're into your fitness, if you're into exercise, keeping fit, even if it's just loungewear because of, the times we're in, which is the pandemic where people are working from home.
Yeah.
So everyone just wants to wear, something comfortable. And that's what it was created in relation to, and it's out there. So, get your Black Friday discounts.
It probably won't be Black Friday by the time this gets aired, man. But anyway, Christmas, make sure you guys get hold of Buff. So what was it again?
Buff Body Fitness.
Buff Body Fitness. Make sure you guys get hold of Buff Body Fitness this Christmas, and if it's a guy, get your girlfriend this. If it's a husband, get your wife Buff Body Fitness, and be comfortable this Christmas, and change your wardrobe, man. I'll have the link for that in the show notes as well. Thanks for dropping that. And anything in the pipeline for Ghana 365 before we end the show?
Yeah, we've got a few partnerships that we've got that are coming through where we're going to be able to create some really good content. There's going to be some content on music. So
okay.
Quite a good push there, which is a few artists that we've got.
Okay.
So we're going to be sharing that content with you. We've also got some good things that revolve around the Eat pillar. That's going to be some of your much loved Ghanaian cuisines, favorites.
Yeah.
A little bit of that, showing some people how to make them. We're showing some people the restaurants, the hustle behind the restaurants.
I love that.
So on. And then obviously there's some of the educational pieces that we've got where it just kind of breaks down some of the traditions that we've got. Because one we kind of focus on is the traditional.
Yeah.
You know how everyone says, are you having a traditional or are you having a white wedding?
Yeah.
I don't like that question. Do you know why?
Okay. Why?
Because the traditional is a white wedding for Ghanaians,
Jeez, come on, man.
A white wedding is traditional for English and British and European people.
Powerful.
Traditional is our wedding. It's not a traditional, it's a wedding.
Yeah. That's it. That is it. I mean, and then why spend twice the amount on weddings as well? I mean, I could tell you off camera about, two weddings, I've got, right, I'll tell you now, I've got two close friends, right? They're both brothers, right? They both got married in the same year. They both had traditional weddings and white weddings. I had to go to Nigeria, Scotland, Birmingham, and I think Kent, all in the same year within the space of a few months to attend 4 different weddings. And I was best man or either groomsman for both of those weddings. It was hectic, but one of the best times of my years. So shout out to Toby and Timmy. If you're listening, shout out to y'all, man.
Yeah. That's a lot.
That is a lot, man. My real Nigerian brothers right there, man.
Well done, you.
Yeah.
Well done, you.
Man. It was enjoyable, man. I enjoyed it, man. Well, thank you guys for listening to the show. And once again, the show notes for today's episode, visit thesoundofaccra.com/Ghana365 and we'll have everything from today's show already done the hard work for you. Make sure you will visit that link. Kobi, thanks again for coming on the show.
Pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. I think Man United came back.
Yeah? Are you telling me this while we're filming? All right. We're going to talk after. We're going to talk now. All right. Peace, guys. Take care.